Hey everyone, Adam here, So Was Your Podcast. Got another interview for you today. I got to sit down with writer, director, actor James Hennigan. His newest movie, Bad Witch, is available now on VOD. Bad Witch was actually a really fun movie. It had a really good sense of humor about itself without making a mockery of itself. It kind of walked that fine line. It follows a guy who's a witch, and they do bring up, oh, is it not Warlock? Is it not whatever? And it's all done with this great sense of humor that the lead actor really commands. But what was really cool about talking to James about his movie was he's still pretty early on in his career, and he's very, very honest about how he felt about his earlier projects. I mean, he even goes as far as to say he didn't like how it came out, and I'm not putting words in his mouth. It's right there in the interview. You can hear it. But why I bring it up now ahead of time is that was kind of refreshing in a way, because whenever you do a creative endeavor, you're going to get better as time goes on. If you're not, you're just not trying. So it was kind of cool and kind of refreshing to hear somebody actually take that approach. But even cooler because with Bad Witch, which I believe was only his third attempt at a movie of this kind of scale, he's doing a great job. So I didn't see his first two, but I had a lot of fun watching Bad Witch, and I believe it came out exactly as he intended, and we do talk about that a little bit too. And it was also kind of cool to talk to him about his interest in acting, where he likes to keep himself in there enough that he gets to do it, but he doesn't want to write himself as the lead. It's a cool conversation. He was a really authentic, down-to-earth guy. It really felt like hanging out with a buddy that I've known for a while, even though this was the first time that I had gotten the chance to talk to him. So I hope that comes across in the interview. Enjoy. Hey everybody, Adam here, So Was Your Podcast. I'm sitting down with James Hennigan, who is a writer, actor, producer. You kind of wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Your newest movie, Bad Witch, comes to VOD April 20th. Hopefully I got that right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. April 27th.
27th. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to update that ticker so that people can get it right.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. The email I got was wrong. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
There we go. Okay, cool. So before we get to Bad Witch, though, I always like to ask creative people, go way back to the beginning of your journey. When did you realize you wanted to be a writer or actor? I guess for you, it would be primary writing.
Yeah, I love acting, but I consider I'm a writer before I'm an actor.
Okay.
I like to tell stories. I like to create characters and just crazy scenarios, crazy characters, situations. So I guess, yeah, no, I'm definitely more of a storyteller, writer, and then actor, which is I'm kind of happy about.
All right.
No, I won't go there with the whole. But yeah. Writer and then acting. Well, actually, writing and then producing and then acting. I like, the whole process of it is really cool.
Yeah. All right. So you've been writing pretty much as long as you can remember, I guess.
So I really got into like horror stories and movies and fairy tales, stuff like that, when I was a little kid. They've always fascinated me, and I used to go down into my parents' basement and like watch all like the R-rated horror movies I wasn't allowed to, because I was raised in a Catholic household, and you weren't allowed to watch those until you were mature enough. But I was like, well, I want to watch them now, because it was just so intriguing to me. I guess it was whole like being attracted to the forbidden, like you're not.
Yeah.
So it was just like, I'm not supposed to be watching them. So now I really want to watch them.
You want to watch them that much more, and if they were just
yeah.
Hey, I think a lot of people have been there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started writing primarily horror, I'm guessing. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I started doing stories and stuff when I was like 9, I would say. Okay. That's farthest memory. But then actually like writing screenplays, I was 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I would just like read old scripts of like Hollywood movies and like understand the format by reading them. Read a couple of self-help books about screenwriting, but and then I would just write whatever like came to mind, but
yeah.
and as I got older, I realized, okay, you have to have a story and characters and like character development and all that stuff. It can't just be a bunch of weird imaginative things. I mean,
Right, and
it can, but
and then
yeah, yeah, but I like a little bit of a story, some substance,
that's cool that at 13 you had the I can't think of the right word for it, but you thought to like, oh, I'm going to read books on how to do this, and I'm going to start doing this, and this is a thing that I can do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was just like, well, I don't know, what else I'm really good at, or I'm not saying I'm good at, but just I just knew I wanted to tell stories. I love telling stories, and I love all my friends know that like I just come up with random stories anytime, and they're like, just like, where the fuck did that come from? So weird, but
Yeah,
it's all
nice.
bliss. It's harmless,
So did you have like in your middle school, high school years, did you have fun kind of doing that for your friends, like just creating these insane stories just to
Well, no, I would say I got more confident in sharing them in my 20s, to be honest. I was really kind of shy in school, so I wouldn't dare to think about telling some of the stuff that was going on in my head to people, because then you don't want to be that weird. You're trying to fit in, and
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
you don't want to be. I'm already weird. Why do I want to make myself more of a target? So
Yeah, that's a really good point. I can definitely relate to you there because I always liked writing, but even as like a teenager, I'm like, I can't say I write stories. Like that's stupid. That's not something that just anybody does. And I actually didn't write for a while because of it. And it wasn't until like you said, like my 20s where I'm like, why not?
yeah, it's just like I think as you get older, you give less of a shit about.
Yeah, and like what's the harm? Like someone doesn't like your story? Okay.
Right, exactly. You do it for yourself, not for other people. I mean, if people enjoy it, then that gives you, the fuel to want to tell more.
Oh,
But
for sure.
like Bad Witch, I wrote for myself. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
thing I wanted to see get made.
Okay, cool. Still before we get there though, sorry, I
But
keep
yeah, no,
stalling.
no apologies.
What was the first screenplay you did that you were like, I want to try to make this into something, whether you got there or not? What was the first one you were like, oh, I really want
First
to get this out there?
First project I did was I was in my mid 20s. I had been doing a lot of theater and stuff, like acting on stage and just trying to learn, like the basics and get comfortable with just acting. And then I was started auditioning for like film projects and was like, well, now I'm meeting people. Like I want to like film students. I want to try to write my own story. So one of my favorite short stories is Poe's Cask of Amontillado. So I wrote, fraternity, like the Cask of Amontillado set in fraternity, like a college fraternity. So I made that a short, but it kind of like it disappeared. I don't know, but that was my first, step into filmmaking and writing stories for film.
Nice. Did you find taking a story as inspiration kind of gave you a little bit more of a skeleton to build than going totally from scratch, or did it just kind of like inspiration hit and
Uh, hmm. uh, well, I just liked the story, and I thought it would be interesting to see two fraternity brothers going at it. Like, I love the subject of revenge and what
Mhm.
drives people to want to revenge. Because, I mean, I think all of us, I mean, not all of us, but more people who would most people wouldn't admit they have a vengeful side. You
Right,
know,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
right? Like, you don't act on it, but you think about it. But just because it
Mhm.
helps you get through, if someone's being a dick to you, you imagine they're,
Yeah,
them
if
walking.
only I could.
Yeah, or you imagine something like they're walking in Home Depot and like a sheet of glass falls off and decapitates them. But you don't really want that to happen.
Yeah, you're not pushing the sheet of glass from the other
No,
aisle.
no, 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 no. But it just helps you just deal with it better.
Yeah, yeah. It's human nature for sure.
Yeah, it's human nature, but in no way would I want that to happen unless they were like did some real criminal, horrible things.
Right, yeah, you just put it in your script. That's
Yeah,
your outlet, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Put it on
yeah.
the page, it's therapy.
Right.
Awesome. Okay, so after the frat movie, what was your next project?
Then I did a movie called Ricardo, which was that was like, so again, it was like about two brothers, and I played one brother, and the other brother was actually an adopted brother from Mexico, and his name was Ricardo. And the whole idea was that my character was really jealous of Ricardo because he was super super handsome and talented and smart, and our mother gave him more love than she gave me, her biological son. So
Mhm.
like it was kind of all about like how my character went crazy and ended up doing terrible things because he couldn't stand the jealousy. It was kind of like a take on maybe Snow White, like just
Okay.
what jealousy can do to you and like what it how it
Yeah,
can
yeah.
drive some people mad. So that was Ricardo, and yeah,
So that was that kind of, it ended up being something in, like, the horror, maybe thriller genre?
yeah, but it wasn't. I mean, I'll be honest. I wasn't really happy with it, so I kind of just it's kind of in the abyss somewhere. Like
Alright.
it was meant to. It was a thriller type movie, but you know, we had absolutely no money, no time. I learned a lot basically. Learned so much doing that, and that's what I say. I say, I with each new project, I just try to fuck up less.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
It's like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure it out still, but that's why you surround yourself with people who are learning also.
From talking to a lot of people in different creative arts, whether it's movies or music or comics or whatever, I find that you're on the same page with a lot of people where
Right.
it feels like everybody else has it figured out and you're learning it for the first time. But it seems
Yeah.
like if you go deeper, everybody's learning it for the first
Oh my
time.
God. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Totally. It's just, and like when doing Bad Witch, I learned so much. So if there is another project, well, I can take what I learned and producing and writing and take it to that project.
Right. And every time you step up a little bit.
Well, you hope so.
Yeah, yeah. Did
You
you go
hope.
to any kind of school, like film school or writing school or anything?
No, no. I mean, I got my degree in English from the
Okay.
University of Maryland, but like it wasn't like thing with being an English major is like you have to read things you don't want to read. Like if I want to read, I want to read stuff I want to read. Yeah.
Right.
So, and some of it were some of the stuff we read was up my alley. Like, but some of it was just like, I don't want to write about this. I don't want to, not to sound like an idiot, but I want to learn about this. I want to focus on like the classic horror stuff. And I mean,
Yeah,
that's
once again, I'm right there on the same page with you. Like all
yeah,
through school, like reading and writing, it's like I thought reading was boring and I thought writing I did it just to get through school. And then it wasn't until later when I wanted to write creatively that it's like I need to be reading and absorbing as much as possible and this and
right.
that. But when it's forced on you, you're like, no.
Yeah, yeah. So I wasn't the best English major student, I will say. I got through it and stuff, but I probably didn't have the best attitude about it. I will say.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if half of it's stuff you don't really want to do, how can you?
Right. Right. Right.
Especially when you want to get into something like screenwriting where it's like you want
Right.
to do that because it's something you can do completely on your own.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. So all these movies like Ricardo, even though you might not have been totally thrilled with the results, it's kind of like a film school for you.
Yeah, and that's how I look at it. Well, like I learned something, and as unhappy as I am with the finished product, it's still I got a movie made.
Yeah, that's true. It's something a lot of people don't even get that far.
Yeah. So we all stuck through it, and we got it done, and I learned a lot. Like oh, I really messed up there. What was I thinking?
Mhm.
Things like yeah.
And did it help you? Because as a producer too, you probably have to do a lot of budget balancing, which I'm sure is
Yeah,
logistically hard.
yeah, yeah. You gotta you just I mean, you just gotta be really good with money, really good with
Mhm.
money, and you want the best, but you also got you don't want to be too crazy with your wallet.
Right, you got to stretch every dollar and
Right,
maximize it.
right. So,
Yeah,
but
that's interesting.
yeah. But again, I learned stuff for next time. Well, you know, like stuff like advertising for Bad Witch. Like, okay, I learned a lesson here. Like, I would say with Bad Witch, one of my mistakes was starting to advertise too soon.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you want to catch people when the movie's closer to release.
Right, because if they're super interested and then it's a
Yeah, it's
year
just like
before you can see it, it's like, oh, well.
right. So that's something. If I do another project, well, I can take that lesson with me there.
Yeah, okay. So was it Ricardo into Bad Witch, or was there something else in between?
No, there was another movie called Deviants, and that was really bad. But yeah, it was another horror film, and it actually had some cool, crazy images in it. Like a guy making out with the body with the other person's intestines and stuff like that. But
Okay.
again, not something I'm really proud of.
All right.
Proud I got made. I got it done, and a couple people I think got something out of it. But again, I wasn't happy with my acting, my writing, and anything with it. So not to be a downer with it, but
Yeah. No,
that's my honest answer.
no, that is very honest. I appreciate that. I don't mean to keep asking you about things in your past you don't
I
like.
know it's very traumatic for me, man.
I thought I was going to make this fun for you.
No, it's all good. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just, yeah.
All right. Well, now we can jump into Bad Witch because I watched it and I thought it was really fun. So
good.
hopefully you're a lot happier with that one.
Oh no, I'm really happy with the movie. I think everything from the acting, the writing, the directing, I'm really pleased with it and glad that people like you are getting something out of it.
Yeah, for sure. I really liked how it was written. I kind of liked the not that he didn't care, but that he was really laid back about dealing with cosmic powers or however you define magic. I thought that was a really funny take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, and the lead actor you found did a really good job of
Chris.
getting that across without seeming like a dick or without going too far where it's just like it was too self-effacing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say Chris was born for the role.
Yeah.
I really like he does a phenomenal job in it. And I always thought of Bad Witch as kind of like rebel without a cause with witchcraft.
Okay, I could see that.
But
he kind of gave me like a John Constantine vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's dealing with these insane, huge, otherworldly things that like your head would explode if you found out they were real, but he's just so nonchalant about it.
Right, yeah, because it's all he knows as a young boy,
Yeah, it's totally normal for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. So how did this is probably the question that you hate getting as a writer, but where did you get that idea?
Okay, so I've always liked, back to when I was a little kid, I've always liked the idea of the occult, witchcraft, black magic, whatever, but I'm not into actually practicing it. I just found it very alluring. And so I liked it in movies, but there aren't a whole lot of movies where you see a guy practicing witchcraft and being a witch. There was a movie called Warlock back in the day. But anyways, that's beside the point. But I just wanted to do something with witchcraft from the male perspective.
Yeah, and I like that you had that scene in there where his friend was asking him like, okay, so why aren't you a wizard or a warlock? And he's just kind of like, enough already.
Right. You know what? It's fun. I'm glad you mentioned that because, with putting out some of the advertisements, I've gotten some like people cussing me out, saying, because it's warlock. I'm like, okay, whatever.
But it's not. This is my lore.
I did my research and, technically guys who practice witchcraft prefer to be called witches. But it's whatever. it's nothing to fight about. But
No, no, not at all.
I just find it very interesting how passionate some people have gotten about like the title. Like it shouldn't be called Bad Witch. I'm like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the title, like in the email at first, I figured it was going to be about a female witch.
Yeah,
Then when I saw it was a guy, I was like, okay. I mean, like I wasn't like, this is the hill I'm going to die on. He should be a warlock because what do I know
right,
about what magicians or witches or wizard or whatever? What do they call themselves?
right, right. Yeah, but
It's funny that people have actually been getting kind of like upset about it.
oh yeah, no, I'm just yeah. There've been people getting heated, and I've gotten some angry responses from the Wiccan community and stuff like that. Like just like this is making witches look bad, and I'm like, it's just a movie.
Yeah, but also I'm guessing they haven't seen it
Well,
because
they haven't seen it yet. It's not been
yeah,
released, so how can you say it's making them look bad if you haven't seen it yet? I mean,
exactly. Yeah, because for people just listening without giving anything away, the main character who is a witch kind of takes this like downtrodden kind of sad sack of a kid under his wing and helps him fix his life up a bit.
right, yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. I think it's kind of funny that you. I mean, I'm not catching the heat that you are, but I think it's kind of funny that people are getting that upset about it. If I were you, I would take that as a win.
Well, yeah, I don't care. I don't believe in censorship of any kind. So it's like whatever. I mean, but it's just a movie. Like
Yeah,
why are we getting? Why are you gonna let that ruin your day? But like
yeah.
you said,
You're not claiming it's a documentary.
yeah, it is kind of a win. So, but
Yeah, that's funny.
whatever. I mean, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. How involved were you in the casting process for it?
Well, you know, so the directors Josh and Victor knew Chris from another project.
Okay.
I was like, well, since this is my character that I wrote, I'm very protective and who gets to play him. Like, I want to make sure, first of all, I like him in real life and as a person, and that he's right for the role, because I don't want to be watching someone I hate play my character.
Right.
But I saw him in the project, and I had some phone conversations with Chris, and he seemed, he's a really nice guy. Because I mean, you wouldn't think, but on some of these indie films, you meet some actors who are pretty difficult, or just think they're in Hollywood or something. And it's just I don't understand that. I don't want to understand.
No, no.
But you get that kind of delusion. But no, Chris was wonderful. So I said, yeah, let's cast him as Xander. And then
Right.
yeah, they knew Jackson also from the same project, I believe, and I liked him, and he's really a great actor, great guy. So it worked out really well.
Yeah, the main two leads did a really good job, and it makes sense that they worked together before because there was some good chemistry there.
Very good chemistry. Yes.
Yeah, nice. So were you because you wrote it, but you also produced it. So were you on set for the shooting and everything?
Yeah, I was on set every day, but just in case, if something happens, it's on me, basically.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I needed to be there, and I was doing other things too. I was some of the props I provided.
Oh, you also acted in it, of course, so you'd have to be there.
Yeah, yeah, I had to be there, and just I just to be there. It's just support. Josh and Victor and we've been friends for almost 10 years now, so it's just we have a good trust in one another. So that was it's always helpful.
It was probably fun too, I would hope.
Yeah, fun. I mean, there are stressful days, but that's any production. But no, it's good when you have a good group of people together.
For sure, yeah. Like you're saying, you have to get along with them in real life because you'll be working with them for however long.
For 12-hour days, and it's like even when you like them, it's exhausting.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's just me. I'm just someone who really needs my space it doesn't matter who you are. I need my space.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure everyone has a point that it's just
Yeah,
like,
as
okay,
a breaking point.
yeah, I need to be alone for a while.
Right, right.
Especially with the stress of the working and you're wearing three different hats on the
Yeah,
movie. And
yeah.
did you always intend to play the roommate character or?
Yeah. When I wrote it, yeah, yeah, because I wanted to act in it, but I work better as a supporting actor. So
Mhm.
I figured this would, but I also want to have a little bit of meat to dig
Yeah.
into, something to work with. So I figured it would be a good role for me.
Yeah, that is a good role for especially because you had other responsibilities on the set, so you weren't
Right.
in every shot, but you also weren't just like an
Exactly.
extra.
Exactly. Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, I'm wrapping my head around how cool it would be to like sitting down in front of your computer alone with just black words on a white screen to acting in it to seeing it done, and it's just got to be so thrilling.
It's well, when it turns out the way you envisioned it with,
Hmm.
the limited resources you have, it's 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 awesome. Yeah, it's really cool.
Nice. How long was the shoot for it?
Okay, so we shot it in, I believe, 22 days.
Wow, quick.
I know, and so it's like, and this is another lesson. If I do another film, we got to add more days because
Right.
22 days was pushing it. But everyone worked their ass off and got it done.
Yeah, nice. And that was 22 days just shooting, not post, right?
Correct. I'm sorry. Like,
Not like editing and
oh
sound.
yeah, yeah. That came afterwards. Yeah, that 22 days just principal photography.
Okay. For the editing, say, were you part of that also, or do you have an editor you trust?
Well, Josh and Victor actually edited it
Oh,
also.
okay.
So yeah, they would do things and then send it to me and just to keep me in on the loop and say, okay, I like that. Yeah, let's keep that. Or they would tell me like why something needs to be cut, and I'll be like, well, yeah, that makes sense. We together we usually have we agree on creative things for the most part.
All right, so you have this good working relationship with people, so it's not like you're reinventing the wheel every time.
Right, exactly.
That's good. That probably takes a lot of the stress off in the post
It
production.
does. And, yeah, you have to really make sure. I mean, because you know, it is. I mean, I know it's a little dramatic to say, but it is my baby. You
Yeah,
know, when you write something, it's your baby. When you create something, it's your baby, and you want it in good hands.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I could definitely see what you're saying. Another question I want to ask is on the set, you had some cool practical effects in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
How
Yeah.
did you find the effects person? Because the toe thing and then the welds on the face, that was really well done.
Hannah is our makeup artist, and yeah, she did. The toe thing is a funny story because she has a real foot phobia in real life. So like she had to touch Chris's foot and like do all these nasty things to it. So it was really upsetting for her. But I mean, I took glee in it. I gotta admit. But
Yeah, you definitely went the extra mile to make it that much more disgusting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you got to give the people what they want.
Right. I just thought it was really cool because it's not like it's a movie that's loaded with effects and you don't need a ton of makeup or like extra makeup. Um, so the ones you did when they really hit, I was like, oh, okay, they spent some time making sure that you would feel what's going on here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. I always like the practical effects more than the CG stuff after.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you 110%. I'm old school. I like practical effects. I don't like CG.
Yeah, they age better.
It looks more real to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my opinion. But no, I agree. I love practical effects that you saw in the 70s and 80s.
Right, especially in the horror genre, that was kind of like people
Yeah.
were breaking new ground like crazy then.
Right. And it makes you think, like, how are you going to do this toe thing? Well, you put a little stuff here and then you put the fake toenail on it, and
Yeah.
it makes you think more.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Problem solving.
Like, how are you going to pull it off?
Right. Especially when the you don't just see it, but the actor interacts with it. So
Right, exactly.
yeah, that's cool. Okay, so
Um,
your shooting schedule, your post production, you had the cool practical effects on. You were part of the editing process, but you've also worked with these people before. How did you go about working with the distribution company? Did you were you able to put it in any film festivals?
yeah, yeah, we got into some film festivals. One of them, it won Best Horror Film, which was really cool.
Awesome, yeah,
The Midwest Weird Fest. So it won Best Horror Film there. So that's always flattering.
yeah.
Yeah. So and just well, it got into some other genre festivals and won some other awards and nominations. So that was really cool because I've never, I didn't get to go to any of them because of COVID.
Oh, that was my next question.
But
Yeah,
but still, it's just the fact that you know they wanted to screen them. It's really nice.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So you shot this late 2019, I'm guessing.
Oh no, no, we shot this actually in the summer of 2018.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, and
So it
then
took some time.
yeah, yeah, then it was in post for about I don't know 6 months to a year, and then festivals, and then distribution.
All right. Yeah, it's too bad you didn't get to see it with a live audience because that would have been great.
It would have been really cool, but it is what it is.
Yeah, the I guess the silver lining, because that's a regular question I've been asking people is if they got to see it with a live audience, just because it's been over a year now. Um, it might have been a chance for more eyes to get on it because a lot of the festivals did digital screenings for people.
Correct. You're right. And one of them we did do a digital screening, which I got to be a part of and do a Q&A and all that stuff, which is cool. But
Okay, so you got a little bit of audience interaction.
right, right, right. So I mean, like you said, silver linings. You got to look at silver linings. Hey, I didn't have to pay money for a plane ticket.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm always finding silver linings, I think.
Yeah, that's good. That's good,
That's how you
especially
survive.
in a tough industry.
Yeah.
All right. So it's coming out on April 27th to all the major VOD platforms, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Are you also doing a physical release?
Like DVD, Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We'll be coming out on DVD and Blu-ray as well.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that indie artists are still doing that.
Yeah, no, I think I'm like I said, I'm old school, so I like the fact that our distribution company is doing that for us.
Yeah, for sure.
I like it's like a book. I like having. If I'm gonna read a book, I want to read the actual thing. I don't want to read it on a tablet. So I like having something in my hands.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I like to buy the movie still, even though I subscribe to a million of the streaming services. I like to have the movie. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, exactly.
That's cool. I like that you're doing that. Are you able to put any extra features on it?
No, I don't think so. Not that I know of. We haven't been asked or told to do anything like that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, just it's kind of a dying art, I think, the extra features.
Yeah, yeah. Is it? I don't know, but
Like
yeah.
it's a where I feel like we're a little ways away from like the movie comes out and then the collector's edition and then the director's cut and then you get the
Oh
comic.
yeah, no, I don't see that happening with.
No, I don't. It's not really happening with anything anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
yeah. That's awesome though. I hope people check it out. I definitely think they should. Your other movies before this one, did they have a sense of humor also, or were they more straight up horror?
they were more straight up horror, but again, I learned a lot from them, and I think some parts were probably unintentionally funny.
Okay.
So,
Because
but
this one, it had a really good comedic sense without making fun of the subject matter.
right, yeah, yeah.
So I think you found the balance on this one.
right. It's a very very dark comedy
Yeah.
with blood and gross stuff.
Right. Awesome. I appreciate you taking the time to come on. Everyone should definitely check out Bad Witch on April 27th. Do you want to tell everybody where else they can find you online, like if your socials or whatever?
Gee, I mean, I'm not. I get you can like the film on Facebook, Bad Witch Movie, but I don't. I'm not. I don't have any big social media outlets. I mean, I'm on the regular ones, but I don't post a lot.
Not
So,
super active. Okay.
and there's nothing that interesting in my life to post about right now.
All right. Well, everyone check out Bad Witch on the 27th at least.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks again for coming on. That was fun.
thank you, Adam. Thank you.
I'd like to thank James Hennigan one more time for coming on the show to talk to me about his newest movie, Bad Witch, available now. Check it out. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. We have a lot more new movie coverage, a lot more interviews. I have unboxings that I've been waiting to put up for a while, but I'm just trying to get these interviews out to do justice to the people who are taking time out of their busy schedules to talk to me. But I got some other cool stuff in the works, so definitely like, subscribe. You're not going to want to miss out. Speaking of not wanting to miss out, make sure you listen to So Wizard Podcast every single week wherever you get your podcasts. So Wizard Podcast can also be found on Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you get multiple monthly bonus shows for it. SoWizardPodcast.com is your resource for reviews, recommendations, videos, merchandise, and more. We love hearing feedback, so drop us a note in the comments, leave us something on social media. All the accounts can be found after the show and in the show notes. And on a more personal note, a friend and I released a comic book at the beginning of this year. It's an ongoing series called Social Studies. It's a slice of life comedy comic about the high school experience and the ridiculousness of it. It's all done with a sense of humor. It's kind of written like a sitcom, but we like to turn those sitcom tropes on their head a little bit. And it's all filtered through the prism of the 90s cartoons that me and my buddy Mike grew up on and love. Check out Social Studies, socialstudiescomic.com. We're all over social media as either Social Studies Comic or Social Studies CB. Thanks.